This is Eat, Sleep, Invest, the marketing podcast for real estate investors to get more deals.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Eat, Sleep, and Invest. I'm your host, Brian Driscoll, and I'm here with Micah Johnson. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. How you doing today?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, so this will be great. Yeah, you guys are in CG also, which is an organization we belong to as well. So that's where we met.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit of background on what you guys do with data and what all you guys do there.
Yeah. Okay. So data, if you're familiar with CG, our company was born with Gary Harper. Our two founders, Felipe and Jesus, they were working with Gary, and he said, man, your data process is something you should share with others. It's really done well because they own a sister real estate company that invests. So that's how we were born, by investors for investors. The way we think about data comes from really digging in and trying to solve the problems that investors doing at least 60 deals a year are trying to solve at a high level. What we say when I get asked in the airport, what do you do for a living? My quick thing is I build treasure maps for real estate investors. And we really kind of stick to that. What we've learned is how to identify people likely to sell at a discount on a time frame and get you in front of them intentionally.
Cool. And that's important too. So when you say intentionally and get in front, like you're talking about being more efficient and not wasting all your ad spend and being hyper targeted, right?
Exactly. We're big members of the Inch Wide Mile Deep Club.
I like it. So now investors, like a lot of times, like I've done mailers before. I'm sending to, what was I sending? It's like non-owner occupied, owned the properties for like 15 years. I'm getting a really low response. Like, what are you guys doing differently?
What we do is make sure that you're reaching them on the right channel with the right message at the right time. So when it comes to marketing, time is a big factor in it. And if you're not intentionally contacting that customer more than 8 times, you're still doing the spray and pray.
So elaborate on that.
Okay, so spray and pray is where you get the data, you run it through your teams, and they're just hitting it as often as they can, but it's not really done with intention. So when you get data, one of my favorite quotes from Jesus is, it's not just data, it's what you do with it. And that's the biggest factor. So when we provide you with our data, we also provide you with the strategy on how to contact it, which is layered over 180 days so that you are in front of the person at the right time when they need you. Does that make sense?
It does. Okay, and anyone listening too, I don't even think I said your company name. You're 80/20 REI, right?
Yep, we are 80/20 REI. You can check us out at 8020rei.com.
And you guys specialize in motivated seller data pretty much.
Likely to sell at a discount. That's it. That's what we look for. Exactly what a wholesaler needs is what we target.
Okay, so you're talking about hitting them at the right time over 180 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say someone in pre-foreclosure, like how would that look? Are you talking about hitting them different ways, like mail?
Yeah.
Text?
Yep.
Things like that?
As many as your company participates in, we can provide up to 3 lists. So direct mail, cold call, and text. What we'll do is manage those lists so that you hit that customer across all your channels on purpose.
Okay. So how would it look? Like, would you drop a mail and then text them after? Or?
Oh, okay. So digging in. So let's say you got a pre-foreclosure. Now, pre-foreclosure, that is the heaviest weight in real estate that someone will sell at a discount. That is the top one. It's why it's such a competitive list. So one thing we actually provide our customers is a blueprint on how to contact everyone in their list. So someone in that pre-foreclosure, for us, that's going to be an urgent. What you're going to do for them, a quick example, in the first 10 days, you're going to cold call them 3 times a day for the first 10 days. And then you're going to cold call them 1 time a day for the rest of the month. We're also going to shift them onto your text list so that you're getting in front of them with the correct amount of text messages. And then on your direct mail list, you're going to be able to see a targeted message so that you can send them exactly what they need to see to respond to you the way you want them to. That's how we help you dig in. And then we manage that across your platforms each month. You get a new list from us every month that has been managed and adjusted, so who's there is supposed to be there.
That's pretty solid. So in that scenario, you're texting more frequently in the beginning, and then it spaces out a little teeny bit. Are you texting and calling before the mail drops?
We have a plan for each person, right? So depending on where they're going to be on each list, you could get a text that goes out. But texting is a really interesting one, and I'm glad you brought it up. So prior to January of 2022, we used to run a texting and a cold call platform. So there was a lot of investors we worked with where we did the texting, the cold calling, and the data, and we were really good at it. What we learned, we have almost 1 billion data points that taught us sequence about how to text, when to text, what to say, how to call, what to say, which really gave us a lot of insight on how to mail, what to say, when to say it. And so that's what we build. It's a twofold product. So we're going to give you the data and all this information that we've used in our own companies to say, here's how and when you should talk to them, so that all you need to do each month is just execute.
Yeah, that's pretty solid too, because I think a lot of investors just send mailers, or they get a list and it's like, you know what, we're just going to text everyone every day, or for extended period of time, and spam them until they say stop.
And texting's funny because your most aggressive texting should be twice a month. And that really blows people's minds. But texting is a different kind of, when you send a text and it got through, you know they got it. It's not like a voicemail where you wonder if they checked it. No, it's the red dot syndrome. They opened that thing up and they looked at it. There's no chance they didn't, right? I get them. So I own a home that I'm on every high equity list that exists. I get the phone calls and the mails, and actually I like it because it lets me see what's going on in the market and what people are trying to do. But yeah, it's what most mess up on is how long they contact. They don't do it long enough. You have to, and this is something we're getting big about. We're doing a presentation next week at Collective Genius on that very thing. Are you planning long enough with your prospects? Because most investors have a really good process for a lead. Once they get in the system, man, they know what's going on. We're really big on, we treat all your prospects like you do your leads. That's how serious we are about them, so that when they enter your world, it's intentional.
Yeah, that makes sense too. How long? So a lot of people I know, yeah, they're spamming in the beginning, and then they don't have a long process to follow up with these people. How long are you guys recommend people follow their leads?
Until they're not viable, right? Until they either sell or tell you to stop. Because I like to use the 4 Ds: debt, death, dissolvement, and divorce. It doesn't matter what market type we're in. Those 4 issues are always taking place. That's 99% of the what's the word I'm looking for? The ways you find a customer. They're going through one of those 4 things, some version of it. Yeah. So that's where we look there, customer centered. We know what your people are going through, so we can get them and get you in front of them. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. Okay, so now you're talking about, without giving away too many of your secrets, what to say. Like, what are you seeing where is successful when people do those first outreach messages?
Yeah. So here's a good version. We have our sister company bought a house in Miami recently. Pre-foreclosure, which is one of our favorite ones. We plugged it into our system, using that 3 times a day for the first 10 days. On the 9th day of the last call, the 27th call, we got a hold of the customer. The previous 8 days, life was happening. They were just realizing all this shit was going terrible, pardon me. But they were just like, life was kicking them hard. They couldn't take the phone call then. But on that 9th day in the evening with that 3rd call, they were ready for it. And guess what? So were we. Because we knew that every touch 1 when they didn't answer is just as important as touch 27 when they did. Because without it, you don't get to 27. And that's what we're trying to show everyone. When they make it to a list that you're calling, you don't have that way to get past at least 8 on purpose. You're using luck to find all your deals.
Yeah, and you're right too, because you're right. People in those situations, life's hitting them fast.
Hard. And it's only, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's only getting worse, right? It's only, when you add joblessness to it, I've been through it. I've been on the other side of a recession where Boom, a week before I was supposed to get married back in 2008, lost my job selling insurance. Everything went under. If I didn't know how to farm, I wouldn't have survived. I baled hay for the Daytona Speedway. Like there's a lot of people who are going to get their feet cut out from underneath them here. And that's what we're encouraging our customers. One, thankfully we work with the top 0.5% in the nation, and they know one thing right now: it's not the time to stop. More than ever, their customer type is going to exist in the market, and they have ways to get in front of them intentionally.
Yeah, and that's what's funny too. I mean, the markets do go up and down, things like that, but everyone's like, "Oh, the market's changing." It's like people are getting divorced, they're losing their jobs. Like the pain points are there that they'll stop dying because interest rates went up or because of a pandemic, things like that. Like they still have motivation and problems with their property.
It all still happens. It's only getting worse, right? Actually, joblessness, when you don't have money, that makes all 4 of those other things spike. Divorce rates go up, death rates go up, dissolvement goes up, debt goes up, right? It is when you lose your work, it makes everything else harder. And that's where we're really wanting to show, hey, a lot of people are losing their work, which means they're going to lose their house, which means they're going to need your help soon. And it's, there's a little bit of blood in the streets. You've always heard the terms, buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own. There's a little bit there. There's more coming. All the graphs we're looking at, we're at the lowest pre-foreclosure rates, the lowest unemployment rates. The only way for them to go is up. It's coming. Set yourself up in advance.
Right. And especially too, like, I know most of the investors we work with, and most investors out there in general, are pretty ethical. These people need help. They're at rock bottom here. They're sitting there, oh shit, I don't know what to do. If you can go in and buy their property from them, not rip them off, give them cash deals, make it convenient, like you're helping them out. You're doing them a service too. So it's truly to get in touch with these people.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what to do. A lot of people don't know there's people out there that can buy your property in a week or two.
They don't know. So my history in real estate came in as an agent. And what I learned was people have no clue. They don't know the process at all. They have no idea what to do. The things I took for granted knowing, these little basic ideas, were life-saving pieces of information to my customers. I was like, okay. So I started paying attention to it and making sure that I said things as simple as I could, as plain as I could, and as honest as I could, because it just is, especially when you're dealing with somebody that's going through these hard things. They don't need anybody blowing fluff. They need somebody who will understand them. Understanding will reach people way faster than intellect will. Get in front of them, help them solve their problem. It's something we're pointing out next week as well. The big guys that are not buying anymore, Redfin, Open Door losing $1 billion and pausing, they don't solve the problems like the investors we work with do. They are not in the same kind of house business, buying business that our customers are. And that's where we're really encouraging them. Dig in. You may have felt like you got punched in the mouth too, but so did your customer. Thankfully, you positioned yourself in a way where you get to choose to be intentional in this moment and have the opportunity, one, to help people and make a lot of money. Capitalize on that opportunity. Don't miss on this one, right? These are opportunities that come around for the right mindset. Take advantage.
How'd you get into this business?
I love people. I've been in sales when I was in sales in 2008, working in insurance, selling to small businesses.
What'd you do? Property casualty?
Actually, it was Aflac. I sold Aflac, and you help with people's benefit plans. So companies with 5 to 15 people who have no benefit package, I would go in and create a benefit package for them. It was really helpful, but that's the first size company that got the axe in 2008. So I learned my lesson there. From there, I never lost the bug. I went to the medical field for a while, and then in 2014, I was able to make the jump back into real estate, got on a foreclosure team. Never looked back, man. It was an absolute blast. When I finished in 2020, my last day of real estate, I canceled 33 houses at one time. That's kind of my story. When COVID hit was when I moved out of the buying and selling myself and have people that do that now. But it was a blast. That's where I learned all this. It's where I just fell in love with people. Every person you meet, they're human. That's what makes them valuable. Solve their problem, and It's what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I actually have an insurance background too. I was in insurance and got into real estate.
Cool. They all meet each other somewhere. I love it.
So what's the number one mistake you see investors making in their marketing?
Not contacting long enough. Yeah, some company I was talking to yesterday, they close 75 deals a year, doing great. Their system only gets to 6. Right, so that's something I run into a lot too. Is when I'm trying to talk to a business owner about the idea of switching from spray and pray, most of them have never heard it before. They've never thought that in depth on the list side. It was just a get a list, call it, get a lead. The whole point was to shake out a lead where you have a bunch of leads. You just have to contact them on purpose over time, and then it'll fill up your pipeline on purpose too. I tell all my customers, your pipeline shouldn't have any hope in it, right? That one's on purpose.
Yeah, and then if you're hitting people for an extended period of time, like what percentage, let's say on cost, like I know if you send mailers, you got to pay postage, printing, things like that. If you just do SMS or cold calling, it's way cheaper. Like what percentage of their marketing budget do you guys, and I know it's going to be different for every list, on average, how much of the percentage is going to be going towards the mail and postage versus texting and cold calling?
This is something we get hyper-focused with you on in our onboarding. What separates every company is who starts it. I have ones that believe in cold calling and text only. They don't want to mail. Others that believe in just mail. We dig in with you to understand what is it that you're trying to accomplish. So then we set up your marketing on purpose. Once we know what you do well, then we build a plan. So every month you're going to mail this many people. You're going to cold call this many people. You're going to text this many people. And it's every month. It's consistency. We solve the 4 main problems I hear: running out of data, don't have enough data, I'm not consistently talking to my data, and data's in a black box. I just can't see it all. We solve all those so that you can do what you do best, which is buy and sell houses. We want to get you in front of the people that want to sell their house at a discount.
All right, cool. I like it. Hey, so we're running out of time. If anyone wants to reach out to you, give your website again.
It's 8020rei.com. I look forward to talk to anybody. Please reach out to us.
Yeah, what's the best way? To go to the website or?
Go to the website. There's a button right there on the homepage that says claim your market. Follow those instructions and you'll reach me in just a couple days.
All right, cool. Hey, one last question. What's your top book you'd recommend to people?
Oof. Right now, I'm listening to Thinking Fast and Slow.
Pretty good?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's all about being intentional, especially in markets like these.
Yeah, cool. All right, I'll check it out. Yeah. Hey, well, thanks for coming on. I'll see you next week down in Tampa.
Heck yeah. All right, man.
Thanks for coming on. Everyone listening, check it out on YouTube if you're just listening to audio, and then also the website and everything will be in the show notes on the website.
Brian, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Everyone listening, thanks for listening. Go out there, crush it, close some deals.
Awesome. Don't stop.